And then 6 months postpartum, we had a pregnancy scare. Ah, Omo! If you have been here long enough, you'll know that I've been struggling with a lot. From birth, it was postpartum. I think I struggled with postpartum for a while, 3 months, 4 months. I was basically indoors. I didn't come out. That was stressful to say the least. I'm somebody that is very, very busy. I like being busy. I like being on my toes doing one or two things. So that period of not having to do stuff or not getting the kind of money that I used to get or get the kind of clients. I think a lot of persons immediately I got pregnant or the time they found out that I was pregnant, a lot of persons just automatically felt that I could not stand or they didn't want to bother me, and so they just were not coming to book for makeup or stuff like that. I think for my second trimester up until after I gave birth, it was just, if not for my skincare that was keeping this business going and one or two persons coming to buy one or two things and one or two persons that actually booked me despite, whew, it would have been more stressful. So I passed through that. Or more for the longest time, my body felt strange to me. I felt like I was wearing somebody else's skin because my body was just not bodying in a lot of ways. Like any small thing, I was having headache. My body was bloated, a lot of water, oh, a lot. So I was excited to come out of the house and start work, and it was interesting for some time. And then after like some weeks of me resuming work, I started feeling like my old self. I started, you know, I'm now active. I now have certain purpose and all that. Despite the fact that I had a baby on ground, like my baby was, here, and the reality of it is that it was not going anywhere, and I couldn't pawn him up to anybody. My younger ones, are not around. What? Why are you complaining? My young, hi. My younger ones are not around. My mom is still very much actively going to work, and of course my husband has to go to work to source for money, so I was stuck with my son. But I was really excited to be out of the house, receive fresh air, see people, go back to work basically. And then 6 months postpartum, we had a pregnancy scare. Ah, Omo! I know that for the longest time we prayed for my first, but having this mindset that I was pregnant again was scary. I started thinking of a lot of things. So my business is going to pause again. So I'm going to go back to the whole thing again. It was scary. I knew I wanted children, or I still want more children, but then again, that period, 6 months, I'm just beginning to feel like my old self. I'm just beginning to go back to my bubbly self and everything again. Ha! I was scared. And for the longest time, I just kept saying, just Jesus, no, 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 no. I don't want it to be true. And I was so relieved when I did the pregnancy test and it came out negative. And then I think 1 month after then, I feel like I had perused over the issue. I've told myself, okay, you can actually do this again. You can actually go back there. You can actually, you should be comfortable with these things. And then I started craving for a child. But I had to wake myself up from that, because I do not have any help right now. So to some extent, it got to a point I was considering getting a help. But how do I bring that up to my husband? Because next thing they'll tell me it's just one child that you are with. Why are you hurrying to get it somebody and all that and all that? I was considering it. We talked about it, me and my husband, we talked about it, and it was like, okay, if when I get my second and I'm feeling overwhelmed, we could get um a help, and I was totally okay with it. But something happened to me recently. I met this girl that my friend had as a house help, and for the longest time I kept saying that, oh Omo, if I had someone like this girl, I would not even bother. This girl is a breath of fresh air, and yada yada yada. When this girl showed us another part of her, first of all, she's a lot. I retracted my statement, and where my mindset is at right now is I don't think I would ever be needing help. It's going to be overwhelming to some extent. I'm going to have to harness whatever help I can get. Anytime my younger ones come around, they could help me hold my son. And whenever they are not around, we're just going to have to deal. I'm just going to have to take care of my children by myself and all that. I know it's going to be overwhelming, but I feel like I'll be more comfortable knowing that my kids are in safe hands with me than with a random person that I do not know their background, and they will not come and get certain characters, certain characteristics, certain whatever really that I never really thought about from them. Like I would not want to expose my children to unruly behaviors. Some with that girl, that example I was giving right now, I know that appearance doesn't really count, because I mean she was the perfect example of a good girl in my eyes, and then she turned out to be a she turned out to be something else. Is a thief, someone that was just sleeping around with people on the streets and everything, and I was like, more god, I would never have pinned her to be that person. So how would I be sure that whomever I'm getting as a help will be good? So I'd rather just, stay on my own, please. Stay on my own, my children, and just quantify it. If push comes to shove, instead of getting help, like to come and because what my idea of help was a living help, but instead of getting help, I think that if there's any reason I will need to get somebody, it will be an older woman that will be coming to the house to clean and wash clothes and then go. Yeah. If it ever happens, if not, I'm just going to not have it. Instead of me getting a help, I'll rather put my child, maybe my first child, I'll have to take him to the crèche just so that I can have a little time to myself, you know. But as time goes on, I feel like the thing is going to avail, my decision will be reached. But for now, I don't think I want anybody. I don't want to any external factor in my family or my life because mm-mm. When God decides to give us a second, we shall navigate ourselves, in the right direction we want. And the last thing I want to talk about is gentle parenting. This idea of gentle parenting. A lot of times before I got before I gave birth, I kept saying that I'll be the parents that will be gentle instead of using my fist, instead of touching my child. I will instead correct him. I'll correct him to do this, I'll correct him to do that. I'll rather give him punishment as opposed to me flogging him or doing any of those. I'm that parent that is not so patient. I know that I have more emotional maturing to do in that aspect because I found out that I'm a little bit quick with my hands. Any little thing, I easily beat him. But I don't know if I can pin it to frustration or whatever. But like I just said, I would need more emotional maturing to do in order to be able to curtail my excesses in terms of eating my child randomly. I necessarily need to do that. But another thing too, I don't know, these Gen Zs or what I think our children, the ones that we give birth to, they are in a different generation because they will drive you. My son basically listens to his dad and not me. I don't know whether you are seeing me. I'm the one that flogs him, but my husband uses his voice, but he hears my husband's voice more. So I really do not know what I'm going to do. But I feel like with time, I would I would have to mature emotionally so that I don't hit him because I'm frustrated. Because most often than not, I find out that when I hit him, it's because he's doing something and I'm basically frustrated with the activities that period. So the easiest thing to do is to spank him. But I will try to reduce that instead. And if I must spank him, it should be for the best reason. Like, okay, I'm spanking him because it's his punishment for his action and not because I am frustrated about something. I don't know if that makes sense. So it's a growth process, of course. I'll definitely need to mature and grow in that aspect, and then spank him when minimally, basically. Maybe look for better ways to correct him that doesn't necessarily have to involve me spanking or beating him. Yeah. So these are basically the issues. And yes, I don't know. Recently, I've been thinking of putting him. My son is going to be 11 months on the 9th of this month, October. And I was already talking to his dad about us putting him in crèche at 1 year. My husband agreed to it initially, but like he usually does, he went out to ask people about the right age to put children in school, and of course they told him it was 2 years. So he came back and was like, I don't think the 1 year is going to be perfect to send this child to the school. Blah, blah, blah. Omo, I do not know, but I don't know, but I feel like when I get pregnant again, it will be necessitated because I don't know what my second pregnancy is going to bring. My first was not so troublesome for me. My first pregnancy was easy to some extent, but it's just I found myself being tired more often. But I do not know. My baby basically gave me a seamless pregnancy. I do not know what the second child is going to bring. So as time goes on, I feel like we're going to make a decision concerning going forward. We're going to make a decision concerning him and what to do next. Every day that passes by, I try to pray over him and just cover him with the word and God's blessing, so that because when it comes to these children, all these little cocoa melon felons are out for our lives. They are always trying to unalive themselves, always trying to do things that's going to put them in trouble. So we do not have any power of our own. I know I do not have any power of my own. So I cannot be with him 24/7. I cannot always monitor his activities. So most often than not, I just put him in the hands of God. I tell God that when he falls down, which he does often, falls down, he hits his head and stuff, God should just help cushion it for us because it's not easy. Yeah, those are the issues I've been facing recently. What are your thoughts? So let us talk in the comment section. Of course, like, share, subscribe to this channel, give this video a thumbs up so that the algorithm knows that this video is well requested for. And if you have not met me before, my name is Josephine Kenechi. I'm your baby girl for life, and this is the channel you should be on. That being said, I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.